FTX went bankrupt on November 11th, 2022. So it's actually not that long ago that FTX went under, but there's so much drama still happening today. We're seeing a lot of different things happening with Sam Bankman Fried involved, what he tried to do before they declared bankruptcy, the amount of money that was sloshing around with FTX, who it went to, and the clawbacks are just starting to get started now, or at least attempts at them or attempts to try and avoid them are. But we can see all this drama kick off and start with Sam Bankman Fried, where this says the FTX founder Sam Bankman Fried attempted to stall bankruptcy proceedings in the US in November in order to transfer assets from his crypto exchange to foreign regulators, per the DOJ. So, a pretty good source, right, to come out from. And that would mean that basically everything that Sam Bankman Fried was saying on all of his interviews that he tried to appear on and everything he was doing his media tour for was probably just a lie. Because behind the scenes, he was trying to move the money out of FTX into foreign regulators where maybe the laws or regulations are a little murky and he could get away with it and probably take a bunch of that money for himself. So although Sam went on his media tour saying the customer is the most important thing, and if he could just have had a few more days, he would have worked it all out, but he was really trying to stall for himself and move probably as much money as possible from any jurisdiction under US to bring it out and just use that money to make himself filthy rich and bribe off whoever he needs to bribe off to, go away without charges, and then he would be perfectly fine. And we get to see that he was trying to email people of something, it's like witnesses, and like tampering with the witness, I think is what this says right here. You can see the DOJ evidence of SBF witness tampering leaks. So apparently a leak. Take it with a grain of salt, but I wouldn't put it past someone like SBF to try this. You can see in his email, this whole thing, he's emailing someone. I guess that's him from like when he was really young. I don't know why he would have that as his email thing, but maybe he likes the picture. But he says that I know it's been a while since we've talked, and I know things have ended up on the wrong foot. I'd really love to reconnect and see if there's a way for us to have a constructive relationship, use each other as resources when possible, or at least vet things with each other. I'd love to get on a phone call sometime soon and chat, which is just kind of funny that he's reaching out, trying to reconnect with someone. Obviously, we don't know who. They're not going to put that out. But whoever it is doesn't want to be involved in this. Maybe they took a phone call, maybe they didn't, who knows. But where he says use each other's resources, without the Ponzi scheme known as FTX, Sam doesn't have any resources. He's not very useful to anybody because the only useful thing he brought was tons of cash because he was stealing the money from his customers. So this another example that just takes away all of his credibility from his media tour, where he is strictly lying. Like, Sam knows what he's doing. He's not an idiot, and he knows to go on and try and win public perception, say that he makes everybody whole, and he was just the dumb kid who didn't know what was going on, when he knows exactly what he's doing. And then the first clawbacks have started. I think this is a avoidance, so they're trying to not get the money clawed back. These are the debtors. You see, they filed their first clawback avoidance action, and it's Voyager for $445 million during the preferential 90-day period. So Voyager, the first ones to try and say, whoa, we're already bankrupt. We don't need to give up more money. So it'd be interesting because Voyager obviously got a bailout from FTX and Alameda, one of them. They're the same company, basically. You can see them coming out here talking about this whole case, pushing everything out. They have this up here talking about the $445 million that they don't want to get clawed back. The person in charge of this is the same guy who did the Enron case. It is John Ray. He is the person who got a lot of clawbacks in Enron. A lot of things he was involved in that. So he knows what he's doing. He knows like a messed up company when he sees one. And he has said that this one is extremely messed up. So we see, but people are already trying to say, this almost $500 million from a Voyager, an already bankrupt company, is saying, we don't want to have to give this back. So maybe they will, maybe they won't. They're obviously trying not to do it. So, and like this says, not good for the Voyager creditors, but good for the FTX ones. And this brings up Binance, which the roadmap for the money that they're looking at, the history of FTX's money is kind of crazy. You can see it here. They have loans to insiders of over $2 billion, which is kind of insane. Political donations of $93 million. Binance had $2.1 billion payment for the repurchase of these shares. Voyager, that $446 million. Modulo Capital, about $400 million. And then BlockFi had the Robinhood shares pledged for an outstanding loan. So obviously, these are just the big players. You know, there's probably tons and thousands of people who have smaller payments, maybe even a couple $1 million payments are small compared to this, and that could be anywhere. So there's a lot of money that left FTX that because they went bankrupt, because they're basically a Ponzi scheme and were stealing from their customers, you have to see where did all the money go, because it was customers' funds. So now you go to those companies that took the money, even if they didn't know and they had no idea at all that the money was ill gained, they still could end up having to give that money back so that they can give the money back to the original customers who got it stolen from them. Ultimately, this is going to be something that takes many years, probably. I would say we're not going to see a conclusion to this for all the clawbacks and all of the money that's been spent, where it all went, how they're going to get it all back. I think it's going to take probably many years to try and get all this done. And this involves other companies like Voyager and BlockFi, who are both bankrupt. So if you need to claw back money from them, but they don't have it because they're bankrupt, are they caught in their own situation where they have to claw back money from somebody else? And if they don't have it because they're bankrupt, because this whole crypto Ponzi scheme kind of place was all entangled together. They were all one. They were all, sharing balance sheets basically. And now the money is gone. So we'll see what gets done from here. FTX, nowhere near being done. SBF apparently too, nowhere near being done. He got out on bail. He's living in a multi-million-dollar house with his parents with only $100,000 to his name. But obviously a lot of money probably hidden away somewhere, and he's trying to tamper with witnesses. So it's only going to get more drama from here. That's going to do it for this video. As always, give me a smash like button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video.